Today we're going to take another look at the 2024 recruiting class, and we're going to shine a spotlight on five-star tight end Luke Reynolds, who signed with the Penn State Nittany Lions. We're going to look at his highlights. We're going to be looking at his scouting report. But before we do all that, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're covering the 2024 recruiting class all off season long, so you can get a good idea of what these freshmen are looking like, and when they start seeing the field for your team, you know a little bit about them. Click that button, stop missing out, and we're going to start things off with this 24/7 Sports player profile page. Fast forward a few minutes, you'll get to the highlights if that's what you're interested in. But the first thing we're going to note here, 5-star recruit in the rankings, 4-star in the composite. We're going to be looking at the other recruiting sites too. So let's remember where he's rated at in the star ratings, see if they are different. But he's 6'4", 220, signed on 12/20, National Signing Day, and he had 19 offers. That's a lower amount for a 5-star. That being said, there could be some stories behind it. He could be locked into Penn State. Another thing is the tight end position. That's not a position where everybody just glamours over. You can really fill that with a lesser player if you need to. 19 offers, looking at what's there at the top, he probably locked into Penn State, and he probably committed pretty early. But we'll see when we look at his timeline here. Accolades, All-American Bowl, so he's getting some opportunity over there in the bowl games. Has the physical traits to be an outstanding college player, and given his inexperience at the tight end position, there is a high ceiling and a lot of room for development. There's another key right there. He transitioned to the tight end position. That might be another reason why he does not have as many offers. Might have locked into Penn State. That's another reason why, more than likely, other teams saw that. Maybe they don't want to touch that. Maybe it's so late that, you know what, we're going with the guys we got. Verified frame, measurables with impressive strong speed, markers, as well as burst. So good size, adjusted athleticism for the tight end spot, which means there's upside here. Former quarterback, which means he knows the game very well. He had to know all the routes on the field for the wide receivers and tight ends. So he transitioned rather quickly, I bet you. Has good physical acumen there. So I'm looking at a player here that has a lot of upside already. Attacks the ball while it's in the air. Has speed. And adding 30 pounds is paramount to his success. So he's going to get bigger. He should be getting bigger. Looking at his frame here, 6'4", 220. He has the frame to get bigger just by the numbers. Not by looking at him, but we'll see on the highlights. Also plays basketball. So he can box out at the catch point. That's what we can see. He's not going to let people get into his basket. Maybe. But from looking at that, probably he's going to have an indicator that he can do that there. Signed on National Signing Day. We're seeing Penn State here since June 9th. Official visit. Went to their camp. He's a Penn Stater. That's why we didn't really get that many visits. That probably the late transition to the tight end position probably slowed things up. He was a late bloomer, a late starter, whatever you want to call that to the position. Not really a huge knock against him. Looking at the rankings on all the other recruiting sites. Go to On3 if you want to see this. This might be a quicker view for you if you just want to look at the rankings here. But the tight end 3 on On3 on both sets of rankings. 4-star prospect. 5-star for 24/7 Sports. And they're split. Remember, they're composites of 4-star. 4-star on ESPN. 4-star for Rivals. Rivals has him as the tight end 10. ESPN has him as the tight end 8. And I imagine the lower rankings for those two recruiting sites is due to him transitioning later from the quarterback to the tight end position. I bet the recruiting process is a little bit late to the party here. That's what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. He signed with Penn State, but still these sites need to pay attention to these players. We got a disparity here. We got him as the tight end 1 and tight end 3. On3 and 24/7 Sports. ESPN and Rivals, vastly different here. Tight end 10 is vastly different, especially at the tight end position. I imagine they were just late to the party, maybe. We're going to go to the highlights. Let me know where you have them rated at. Do you have him rated as a high-end 4-star? Do you have him as a 5-star? Do you have him as Let me know. Let me know. But let's take a look at the tape here. 9 minutes, 16 seconds. Ball's in the air. Good concentration on that one. And we're in the slot here. Definitely can see some size to his frame. Good hand. Snatched it, brought it down, and we're getting upfield. Can see some good size adjusted athleticism. Remember, you got to adjust the speed for his size here. 220-pounder, 6'4", height adjusted speed as well. The taller you are, the harder it is to hit those markers. Good hands. Good concentration. Inside shade with the DB. Punch it in, come out. He's got good ball skills, good hands. Definitely say that. Definitely see he can add to his frame. Has the capabilities of doing that. By looking at it, if he puts it on, it's going to be fine. Again, good hands there. He can rise up. Nice jab step there. Selling the route running. Really putting his time in, too. On the routes. Not just getting to a spot, which he probably could do at the high school level. Look at him. I would say, from a route running perspective, he's ahead of some of the top wide receivers. But on the flip side of that, devil's advocate, a lot of those wide receivers don't have to show it off because they're so much faster. But look at him. When you adjust his athleticism, his movement skills, change of direction skills for his size, he's solid. He's solid. I wish I had some verified track times. Don't really need it, though. I can definitely tell you he moves well. He moves fluid. He's not going to be a burner. That's not what I'm kind of saying when I say size adjust athleticism. He's going to look slower than a guy who runs a 10.5 100. But when you adjust it for his size, you get him moving. It's just naturally tougher to play against. Oh. Dude's got ball skills too. Nice hit. Nice hit. Oh my goodness. He is aggressive as well. It's a good thing. Now we're in the slot again. What we got? Okay. Boom. We're playing some weird zone here. Bam. After the catch, he's all right. Now we're in the slot again. Quick screen. Bam. Makes the guy miss. Slide on his feet. You can tell by the jog. He's not heavy-footed. Which most of these guys who are up here in the rankings are not. We gonna get him? There we go. Nice pursuit angle. Very aggressive with that cut up field. Which is good to see. Get the ball, rip it upfield. Good intangibles there. Getting over the middle. His route running, that was not at the top of that paragraph. They might have talked about him in the scouting report a little bit more. His route running for his size and ability to stop on a dime, change direction there with the dead leg, that's good. That's good. That's up there with some of the top wide receivers so far in the route running department. I'm not comparing him to them, but his ability to stop on a dime, make that curl, hitch, out, whatever, or even sell her out. He's got good feet. I think that's a big intangible here. Of course, the size adjusted athleticism is cool and all. You're going to get a lot of those tight ends at the top. But those finer nuances. And I imagine that's from all the camps playing at quarterback, learning the wide receiver position from observing and playing with wide receivers in 7-on-7s and stuff. That transitioned quickly. We go on defense. He's aggressive. I like that. You got to be aggressive at tight end. We're not seeing many clips of him blocking. I just account for tight ends needing a little bit more of a developmental period. Whether it's from high school to college or college to the NFL. I just really throw that in there. Yeah, I mean, you'll get your Sam Laporta once every 10 years. But if you're really playing the odds, you're expecting a year or two development. Either way you slice the bread, whether it's high school going to college or college going to the NFL. It's a tough position. It's a very tough position because you got to learn the blocking assignments and you got to be a wide receiver. You got to learn 2 positions, really. Look at the bugs out there on the field. Look at him. I got to look at where he's from. Is he from, like, Pennsylvania, Ohio area? I got to look at that. I should read that off to you guys more. You see the bugs out there. But then again, the trees, they don't look like they're from my area, but they might be eastern PA or something. There's got to be a reason why I locked into Pennsylvania so easily. I mean, Penn State. Bam. Downfield. I want to see him at quarterback a little bit. I want to see the arm. I want to see him roll out. I know that's not going to happen. We're at safety. Imagine a big old safety like that. He moves well. Look at that. Good pursuit. He's a smart player. You can tell that with his footwork and his pursuit angles. Like, everything's like that. Nice play, staying with the ball. When we're looking at him at the tight end spot, and you're looking at him just blast through people on defense, the assertiveness is huge because offensive line play, contested catches, that lets you know his mentality. I think his cerebralness on the route running, when we're seeing him operate from the slot or on the outside, and him taking the effort to jab step, sell his routes, which we do not see as often as what he's doing from play to play. Not this type of play, you're not going to see that, but like say on an out or a curl, and how he works his footwork and his momentum and his lateral ability, he might transition pretty quickly to the college game. I think that's the hugest intangible of his game. I mean, he's got ball skills. He's got good hands and concentration. But that route, like right there, the subtleness, the little jab to the outside with the head movement to look back. Like that right there. Like especially at the tight end position, and that's something he's not going to have to develop. He's already there, and he's a hard worker. Because he doesn't have to do that on every one of these plays. If he does something, he does it correctly. Every time to the best of his ability. Because you're not going to do that. You don't need to do that on every play at the high school level. You just get to your spot because you're so much more athletic than everybody else. Even though he's not like a 10.5 track time, 10.6, 10.7, or one of those blazing fast guys, his size-adjusted athleticism at that speed, at the high school level, is dangerous to some of those DBs and linebackers and tough to cover. And that being said, with him being bigger and then also being able to split out as a wide receiver and run pretty crisp routes for size, when you're 6'4", it's harder to break off routes. It's just harder to do that because of your size, and you got some limitations too. You're a little bit thicker. And sometimes it takes a little quarter step to really plant before you get to make your break. Sometimes you slide a little bit more. Sometimes you drift a little bit more. And that's just part of the game. Part of the game. But for his size and his breaks here, it's not too bad. I can't believe that wasn't at the top of the scouting report. That blows me away. Like, the size adjusted athleticism is cool. It's good. It's not world beater. And it's going to really help him. And he's got good hands, good concentration. I like that he's former quarterback and all. I think what we saw in the route running here is superb. I think that's good for the tight end spot. I wish we saw more of that effort on the route running from some of these top end wide receivers that we've looked at. We looked at 11 of them or something like that so far in the process doing these videos this year. He puts in a lot of effort. This guy is an effort lunch pail tight end. He works really hard on the route running, like I've been saying for like the last 5 minutes. That's the take that blew me away. Usually the top takes are at the top, and I would read more of their scouting reports to you guys, but I know you guys would get bored of me reading every single word, especially when they got a block of paragraphs that is not split up with weird grammar to sound like there's some kind of executive scout. But that should have been more at the top, because that route running really stood out. His ability to sell routes, the attempt, the effort to sell the routes, make the breaks the way he does, and the ability of him not to drift that much on his breaks, accounting for his size and height, accounting for that. That's amazing. He can get downfield. He has good size-adjusted speed. I'm not saying he's fast. I'm saying for his size, for his height, when you adjust that for his speed, it's pretty good, especially for the tight end position. You can see him get a little pop off the step, off his breaks. That's a good thing. Very cerebral, good concentration, strong hands. Honestly, there's not really anything really bad in his game. There's not. I mean, he's not a super athlete or anything like that. You can say that. But devil's advocate to that, we get a lot of super athletes at the tight end spot, get heralded in recruiting classes, and they amount to nothing. They do. And I like the fact that we got a tight end here that does the little things with the route running. That's what blows me back the most about this guy. And I know that's going to allow him to transition a little quicker, or at least aid him to do so, because he's not going to have to work on that part of the game. He can work on the blocking, the assignments there, build on from there, and he's already good on the route running. That's something what young tight ends need to focus on right now, is really look at the fundamentals of the route running and really hone those down. Hone down everything. But if you hone that down as a very top-tier route runner, split out and do that, I think once you get to the college game, the other things will fall in line a little bit more for you. And the developmental process and expediting that will help you out a lot. But he's a very, very good prospect and lunch pail tight end. He's going to develop. He's going to work on his game. I can tell you that just by watching that he's going to do the little things to work on his game. I think Penn State got themselves a good football player here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.